Using lime, lemon and orange zest in your bakes and in your desserts can give that really amazing citrus kick which really can't be compared. In this video, a few tips about zesting and the tools you could use. If you have been watching my videos, I don't really need to tell you that I love using citrus zest in my bakes and in my desserts. And since there was a request for making a video on zesting oranges, here it is. It's not rocket science really, but remembering a few things may help you do this better and get the best of citrus flavor in your bakes and in your desserts. So zest is this outer colored skin of the citrus fruits like oranges, lime or lemons. And the skin contains some natural oils which gives that really refreshing aroma. Lemons normally have a thicker skin and so they give you a generous amount of zest, but the Indian limes here are quite stingy, so you may not be able to get a lot of zest from these, but this is all we have, so we have to make do with this. You could also try using sweet limes, that should also be good. I like using this variety of oranges. I believe this is called Malta here, and you could also use this variety called Kino here, but this doesn't give a lot of zest as compared to the Malta oranges. Of course, you can't use something like this. This is the orange with this kind of a peel, so you would not be able to zest this one properly, so do not use this kind of an orange. It's extremely important to use the freshest fruits you can find. Try not to use that really sad looking orange from the bottom of the fridge, it will not work. Try to use organic oranges if you can find them, and preferably unwaxed oranges. You will need to wash and wipe the orange dry before you zest the orange. And in case you suspect that the fruit has been waxed, it's better to wash it with some hot water and then wipe it dry. And my favorite tool to zest oranges is this zester from Microplane. I use it a lot. It gives good zest, really fine zest with minimal effort, so I really like this. You can find the link in the description below if you want to buy this Microplane zester online. You could also try using this one, which is recommended by Rose Baum. So whenever you need to zest an orange, it's always better to do it directly over the bowl of the cake batter or anything wherever the zest will go into. If you were to do it over a board or a plate and then pick it up with your fingers and then put it in the bowl, you'd be missing on some of the oils which will stick to your hand and some onto the board, so you do not want that. But of course your hands will smell gorgeous, there's no doubt about that. But then when you directly zest the orange into the batter, it is difficult to measure the quantity of zest you would be putting into the batter, but you would still have to take an educated guess. And if you would have to err, then you would have to err on the side of adding more zest than less zest. And always use grated orange zest immediately. So to zest the orange, you hold the zester at an angle and then slowly move the orange back and forth. Do not use a lot of pressure, you just want the colored part to come out, not the white part which is called the pith, that will be bitter. So this is your orange zest from about half an orange. Whenever there is a liquid component in the recipe and you need to use orange zest, then it's always better to take this zest and put it into the liquid and then whisk it lightly and then use it. Try not to add it directly because you do not want that clump of orange zest in your mouth, that will taste really terrible. And in case you'd be using something like this, then this is how you would do it. Just hold it like this and then again try to avoid the white part, you just need the superficial orange part because the white part will be bitter. And then you'll see that the zest is accumulated inside this box here. Let's see how it looks. And you would have something like this. These are more like strands of orange zest, like this. So this would be more like finely shredded orange, and this will work fantastically as a garnish for any citrus dessert, but you can't really use it directly in the batter because this would be too much, too coarse, and then you would feel it in your mouth when you eat the cake or the dessert. But if you'd be using it and then straining it later at some point in the recipe, then this should also work absolutely fine. I'm not really sure how a regular box type grater would work. Anytime a microplane or something like this is much better. And in case you do not have either the microplane zester or something like this, then you could just try peeling the skin of the orange as thin and as close to the orange part as you can, like this. Avoid the white part, as thin as possible. This of course would not be as easy, but sometimes you can't really help it. So take the pieces like this and then process it with some part of the sugar in the recipe. Remember, the sugar needs to be part of the recipe, and then you process it as fine as possible and then use it in your recipe. So once you start using zester and you start using orange and lime zest, it will really change the way you look at these citrus fruits.